And we are back. Our featured guests tonight are two parts of the LO Films team. And their debut film, Topside, is making waves internationally for its story, direction, technical achievements. Not only that, but the story is timely, and it provides some important insight into some of life's toughest situations. Here to talk about Topside and their amazing story together are Logan George and Celine Held. Logan and Celine, welcome. How are you guys?
We're great. Thanks so much for having us. We're so excited to be here.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy these days because now we've got to do this thing by Skype due to the whole COVID situation. So we're obviously here to talk about your movie Topside, and wow, what a film it is. But before we do, I often ask guests if they remember any moments in their life growing up that influenced them into getting in the field that they're in. Was there any like turning points or tipping points that made each of you decide, you know what, I'm going to go into filmmaking?
Gosh.
You had one.
Yeah. I remember it's 2001, I guess. I was watching Fellowship of the Ring, The Lord of the Rings, in a theater. And there was a moment that was so viscerally, impactful for me that my 11-year-old self jumped out of my seat in the theater with like a
Which part is it?
It's like when Legolas like shoots an arrow through an orc's head. My teenage brain. But I was so connected that I was so drawn into the story, and I think that's maybe something that I would hope to instill in someone as we make stuff, like, because it's such an exhilarating experience that I still think about a lot.
For me, I don't have anything like pinpoint like that, but we both majored in drama at NYU. That's how we met. And so I think I had this thing of looking at actors. Andrea Arnold's work since I was young in high school has always just super affected me. I mean, her short film Wasp was a big inspiration for us for our short film Caroline and for Topside in a lot of ways. And I think watching that short film, I was just completely floored.
Now, you guys, are collaborators, but you're also a couple. And so I'm assuming you guys had a lot of classes together. Is that how you met, or was it something more random?
Yeah, one class in particular. We were in a class that it's avant-garde theater at NYU with Paul Lazar.
Yeah.
And we could see a show each Thursday in like the downtown New York theater world, and Logan just kept trying to sit beside me every show we went to see. That was 2010.
Yeah, so. It was a great excuse because you had like a thing every Thursday night, like a play to be able to go see. So,
built-in date.
Yeah, it worked really well.
Smooth, Logan, smooth. Was there ever a point, and I ask this especially of filmmakers and musicians as well, was there ever a point where either or both of you went, this career, this may be more than I've bit off. I bit off more than I can chew, or has your focus always been on the prize?
I mean, we started working as writers and directors really together because, like Celine said, we both majored in drama, so we were both like actors post college. But in doing that, Celine was babysitting and I was bartending our first years out of NYU, and so we really like hit the ground running. I think when we got together and started working in this particular field of writing and directing our work, it sort of lit a fire underneath both of us, because we both felt like this was what we were missing, was that partnership and being able to bounce ideas off each other, having the other person to call you on, your problems or your mistakes, being that other set of eyes. So it really hasn't been a point of looking back, and because we're so like locked in now, like it's our entire career, the two of us together.
We're now officially in the DGA as co-directors. We can never direct alone.
Yeah, never do anything else.
But for acting, there were definitely moments in.
Oh, sure, yeah.
We started working together professionally as writers and directors really about 2015. Mm-hmm. But as actors, it's really tough to be part of projects where you don't quite believe in them. And everyone has their own way of starting out. We were in a bunch of student films and where we didn't quite believe in the message or believe in the story. And that's what really led us into this kind of career. And now we're at this place where we can't imagine doing anything else.
So you guys founded LO Films together, and by all accounts, you guys have garnered some real acclaim, you know, in the film world up to this point. You guys, like we said, are also a partnership, and those things don't always work out. I read somewhere that you guys, one of the ingredients, I guess, is that you guys have a rule.
Yeah.
It's our no rule, but we, like, in that sense, creatively, we don't really like to sort of be wishy-washy about things and compromise somewhere in the middle. That's not going to be a strong choice. So we'll debate something until one of us convinces the other. So it's rarely about sort of.
You have to be able to be convinced.
Yeah.
You can't be, you know, you have to be open, you have to be flexible, but we try to make these really strong choices before we get on set, so that we've made the strongest script, we have the best storyboard we possibly could. And then when we get on set, we have the flexibility to realize when things should change for a number of reasons, which happened countless times on Topside. But it's about having basically the courage to say to each other, no, that's awful what you just said, or no, that's the best thing, that's the best idea, even if the other person doesn't believe it yet.
Do you guys have similar movie tastes, or are you guys total opposites?
We're the same.
Yeah, we're pretty aligned, actually, which is
surprising.
Yeah.
We make the same choices a lot of the time when we're doing things separately. Like, we'll each take a scene and we'll write it separately and be like, oh my gosh, these line up, but this line is better and this line is better, and stuff like that.
Now, Celine said earlier somebody who influenced her was, I think you said it was Andre Arnold, right? How about you, Logan? Is there any filmmaker who specifically influenced you?
I mean, it's sort of more modern. I feel like growing up in the early 2000s, it's like Derek Ciafrance or like Jeff Nichols, these like sort of American drama filmmakers that I really responded to and felt like those were the films that really struck me
Whiplash
emotionally. Yeah, Whiplash was great, Damien Chazelle. And we both love the Safdie brothers as far as, you know, that sort of like visceral connection to work that you can experience when you're watching their stuff.
Chloe Zhao, Eliza Hittman are two other really big names for us that we keep coming back to their work.
Now, your short film together, Mouse, was a real festival darling. Was that the first festival you guys made it into? And can you describe what it felt like, you know, finding out?
Yeah, we were,
long story.
Yeah, I don't know where to start. Basically, we've done a lot of international commercial work together. We work as a two-person crew. I do audio.
And I'm doing the camera, and we're like directing, producing, art direction.
Nonprofits and international schools. And we found that it was tough saying we were constantly just boyfriend and girlfriend. And so we were overseas for like 6 months, and we had made Mouse and submitted it to South by, and we just decided to get married in Tokyo. So we got married, and we got the call like 2 days later that Mouse had gotten into South by. It was like the best wedding present we'd ever could have imagined. So it was an international call. It cost a ton of money to receive, but we saw it was from Texas, and we were like, this could be. So that was the first festival we got into. Yeah. With any of our work.
And credit to South by. They're like responsible for, you know, they were the first to really see something in our work, and we just absolutely love the people that work there. It's such a shame.
The environment they create. It's such a shame that it was canceled and it's virtual this year.
It's one of the first casualties of COVID.
It'll come back.
Yeah, everything will come back. We are going to go to a quick commercial break. Can you guys stick around till after? Because I really want to talk to you about Topside.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, we're going to be right back after the commercial break with Logan George and Celine Held.